We have the worst natural disaster in the history of California, and our governor, American psycho Gavin Newsom, wants to censor me. Censorship is top of mind. Watch as he whines, bitches, and moans to President Biden. I'm going to share with you that clip. Plus, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg just admitted to Joe Rogan about the Facebook cover-up of the ages, how the Biden-Harris administration would call up Facebook and yell at them, forcing them to take posts down. You got to check out this clip right here. But first, some drama within the ranks. Watch LA Fire Chief right here admit on camera that Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom are not up to snuff. Watch this.
Did the city of Los Angeles fail you and your department and our city?
It's my job to stand up as a chief and exactly say justifiably what the fire department needs to operate to meet the demands of the community.
Did they fail you?
That is our job, and I tell you, that's why I'm here. So let's get us what we need so our firefighters can do their jobs.
Did they fail you?
Yes.
Wow. Kudos to that reporter for actually pressing the matter, but oh my goodness, I can't imagine that failed, disgraced, I'm traveling to Ghana instead of taking care of my city. I cut the firefighter budget. Something new just came out too. Karen Bass. I can't imagine that Karen and American psycho Newsom are too happy about hearing that. That's got to sting a little bit. Speaking of which, check out this. New reports are coming out that Gavin Newsom cut the fire budget by over $100 million last year while giving more water to tiny tribal fish, because in Gavin, American psycho Newsom's lawless California, fish are more important than people's lives. And then The Guardian just released an exclusive leaked memo that revealed that LA Mayor Karen Bass demanded her fire department cut an extra $49 million just 1 week before wildfires broke out. So yeah, I would definitely agree with the fire chief, even though I'm not really proud of her policies and her advocacy for DEI. They definitely failed us and they should resign immediately. Karen, Greasy Gavin, if you or any of your staffers, because I know your staffers watch my show, anybody who works for you watching this, you're done. It's over. Hasta la pasta. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. You just destroyed your candidacy for 2028 100% by the way that you handled this. But I think even your liberal faction are completely done with you too after all this hoopla, because you have failed, I mean, monumentally. Everybody right now in the comments, I want you to type Karen, Gavin, resign. I want you to type a big capital resign in the comments down below.
Oh my goodness.
How you doing, Karen?
I am doing great. It's so exciting to see you.
Well, it is good to see you. I just finished a rally here in Georgia.
I know.
For the Democrats here, Stacey Abrams,
Yep.
Raphael Warnock.
Yep.
But I wanted to make sure I took some time out to talk to you personally. Just to say how proud I am of your campaign. And to just let you know that, you know, you were there early for me when I ran for president.
Always.
You've always been on the right side of the issues that we care so deeply about.
Thank you.
And I'm confident you're going to be an outstanding mayor of LA.
Thank you so much.
Are we getting the picture now, everybody? I'm proud of you, and I'm confident that you're going to be an amazing mayor of Los Angeles. Still think that way, Obama? I would love to hear from you, because I know your staffers watch my show as well. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you really still back that up? You still endorse her after all this disaster? Let me know in the comments. So it's bad enough that we've got all these incredible, insane fires. It's bad enough we don't have water in our fire hydrants because of failed leadership and management. But now you've got looters who are organizing, criminal, illegal migrant gangs organizing to loot these poor victims after they've lost everything, lost their homes, lost their livelihood. Now you've got looters who are not only looting their homes, but they're starting new fires to force new evacuations. What you see on the screen right here is a gentleman who was caught by citizens, a citizen's arrest of somebody who was carrying a blowtorch and looking suspicious like he was starting a fire. Watch this.
The West Hills fire, because that was started at a parking lot. He's going to come over here and light up this area.
Oh my gosh. No, this is crazy. I can't even believe it. Because I'm like
a 30-year-old guy, you know.
Crazy. Because I'm like, how does a fire jump literal cities?
I know. I can understand there, but all the way over
exactly.
to West Hills,
that doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so get this. So they catch this guy. He's got a literal blowtorch on his person. He looks suspicious. There's no police around. Citizens identify him, stop him, hand him over to the authorities. And then in Gavin, American Psycho Newsom's lawless California, the police then state this. Watch this.
They responded, they interviewed this suspect. After the interview and additional investigative steps, looking at some additional evidence that was present, they made the determination that there was not enough probable cause to arrest this person on arson or suspicion of arson, and therefore this person was arrested on a felony probation violation.
What are you doing with a blowtorch in a city you don't belong in, doing suspicious things in the brush during the worst natural disaster, wildfire disaster in the history of the state? And that's not enough probable cause to arrest this man, to detain this man, to put him behind bars? These are liberal-run states, everybody. This is Gavin Newsom's California. And you want to vote for this guy in 2028? So we have all of these problems. New fires starting, I mean, almost seemingly every day. The Santa Ana winds have temporarily kind of waned, but they're coming back with a vengeance in a couple of days. We're all not looking forward to that. You've got people who've lost everything, homes obliterated, the worst wildfire disaster in history. It has become more than obvious that you're doing a terrible job. And this is what you're concerned with? Watch American Psycho Newsom bitch, moan, and complain about people like me calling him out on his BS. Watch this video right here. Complain to Biden.
I ask you, we've got to deal with this misinformation. There were hurricane force winds of mis and disinformation, lies. People want to divide this country, and we're going to have to address that as well. And it breaks my heart as people are suffering and struggling that we're up against those hurricane forces as well. And that's just a point of personal privilege that I share that with you, because it infects real people that are out there, people I meet every single day, people the mayor's been meeting with, and they're having conversations that are not the typical conversations you'd have at this time. And you wonder where this stuff comes from. And it's very damaging as well. But we're here to get the job done.
Misinformation. AKA, let me translate that for you. Anybody calling me out on my BS. That's what he means. If you missed the video that I posted yesterday of that poor mother, that California resident, confronting him as he fakes a phone call with the president and just lies right through his porous, ilky snake skin. Oh my God. It was, if you missed that video, please go watch that video like immediately after this. I'll leave it at the end on the end cards. You have to go watch that video. It is just so undeniable how absolutely full of manure American Psycho Newsom is. And speaking of censorship, because, you know, that's the answer in a free society. That's the answer in the free market of ideas, is to suppress and censor. Let me tell you something, guys. The good guys are never on the side of censorship. Never in the history of man have the good guys ever resided on the side of oppression and censorship. Not a one, never, impossible, never going to happen. Check this clip out. Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Meta, going on the Joe Rogan podcast, admitting that the Biden-Harris administration forced him, harangued him, yelled at him aggressively, abrasively to take posts down. Watch this.
So at the beginning, it kind of seemed like, okay, we should give a little bit of deference to the government and the health authorities on how we should play this. But when it went from, 2 weeks to flatten the curve to, and like in the beginning, it was like, okay, there aren't enough masks. Masks aren't that important. To then it's like, oh no, you have to wear a mask. And, everything was shifting around. It just became very difficult to kind of follow. And this really hit the most extreme, I'd say it was during the Biden administration when they were trying to roll out the vaccine program. And I'm generally pretty pro rolling out vaccines. I think on balance, the vaccines are more positive than negative. But I think that while they're trying to push that program, they also tried to censor anyone who is basically arguing against it. And they pushed us super hard to take down things that were true, right? I mean, they basically pushed us and said, anything that says that vaccines might have side effects, you basically need to take down. And I was just like, well, we're not going to do that. We're clearly not going to do that. I mean, that is kind of inarguably true.
Who is they? Who's telling you to take down things that
it was
talk about vaccine side effects?
It was people in the Biden administration.
I don't know if you know this or not, but Zuckerberg recently appointed Dana White on his board, recently disavowed DEI policy. So Meta is completely divesting themselves of all DEI woke policies for hiring, etc. They have no diversity, equity, and inclusion department. God bless them. And he's also said that he's going to be uplifting more content that they didn't used to, that they used to actually push back, like content like mine, etc., etc. I don't know if I 100% trust him, but this is the fact that he went on Joe Rogan and admitted this, the fact that it is now official. There are literally no conspiracy theories anymore. Trump was right about everything. Thank God we won on November 5th. By the way, if you want 100% original made in the USA Nez Nation Patriot merch, pin comment down below, or just go to myspreadshop.com/Professor Nez. Oh my goodness. This is huge because he just essentially admitted that the Biden administration forced social media companies. Remember this when Senator Josh Hawley questioned DHS Secretary Mayorkas, the disgraced lion-ass degenerate Mayorkas, on suppressing and telling Facebook third-party, which is illegal, by the way, telling third-party resources to take posts down. Watch this.
Now, you said earlier this year that you disbanded the Disinformation Governance Board, which I thought was totally unconstitutional, but that turns out to be, at best, misleading. That's just the tip of the iceberg in terms of what you're doing. Your own quadrennial review, which was just reported in the press, says that disinformation is going to be the new focus at DHS. The Quad Review says that DHS plans to target, I'm quoting now, inaccurate information domestically on a wide array of subjects, including, quoting, the origins of the COVID-19 pandemic, the efficacy of COVID-19 vaccines, racial justice, U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, and the nature of U.S. support for Ukraine. A federal judge has just found as a finding of fact, Mr. Secretary, that your office, and I'm going to quote now, is supervising the nerve center of federally directed censorship. Here's another email, August 20th, 2021. Facebook writes again to HHS and highlights that Facebook is increasing the strength of our demotions for COVID and vaccine-related content. April 16th, 2021, Rob Flaherty at the White House circulates a Zoom meeting invitation to Twitter employees stating White House staff will be briefed by Twitter on vaccine misinformation. We have example after example of this administration coordinated, apparently, according to a federal court, by your agency, pressuring, coercing social media companies to engage in censorship. Is that constitutional?
That is unequivocally false.
Is what the emails show.
It is unequivocally false, Senator.
You are not pressuring the big tech companies to take down accounts. You are not meeting with them to ask them to censor on your behalf.
That is correct. We are not.
Mr. Secretary, it has been established for years in this country, as you very well know because you're a lawyer, that the federal government may not use private third parties to engage in activities that are unconstitutional. That's exactly what you and this administration are doing. You are leveraging private companies to carry out censorship on your behalf. It's dystopian, but worse than that, it's unconstitutional.
It's also false.
Not so fast, Alejandro Mayorkas. Everything that Senator Hawley said was true. Everything that Zuckerberg said about you guys is true. We've known it for a very, very long time. I've experienced it viscerally, personally myself, having my posts get taken down, having my content restricted multiple times. So I can even say, not even from hearsay, not even from Zuckerberg or anybody else, it's actually factually 100% objectively true that you have done that. Can you imagine? My fellow Americans and global citizens, let me know where you're joining me from too. I love hearing what city, state, country. Let me know in the comments down below. Imagine if Trump called up Mark Zuckerberg and said, hey, Mark, when he was president, or even when he was not president, hey, Mark, we need you to any post that maligns me, or any post that makes fun of me, or any post that talks about my trials or whatever, I need you to take them down. Could you imagine what CNN, MSNBC, all these woke propaganda, ABC, could you imagine? It would be around the clock, 24/7. They'd be talking about it until time immemorial. But do you think they're going to mention this? Huge breaking news today about Zuckerberg dropping this bombshell on Rogan. Do you think they're going to mention this at all? That the Biden-Harris administration, Mayorkas is just a minion. He takes orders directly from Biden-Harris, and Biden-Harris take orders directly from Obama or Soros or the Holly weirdo pedophiles. I don't know. Probably all of them. Can you imagine? Do you think they're going to report that? You think they're going to talk about this? You think they're going to expose this? You think they're going to question Mark Zuckerberg? Zuckerberg could go on ABC. You won't see Zuckerberg on CNN. You won't see Zuckerberg anywhere near propagandist media outlets anymore, since he's now seen the light. He is enlightened. He is illumined to the truth about what's happening. And that is, we have a cacophony of liberal terrorists, domestic enemies within. They need to be snuffed out, weeded out, fired, removed, deported, whatever. But they are anti-American. They are pro-Marxist, pro-Hamas, pro-terrorist. They are the domestic enemies within. They need to be quashed, taken out immediately. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to go check out that video if you missed it, of the California dear mother, desperate mother, confronting lioness, degenerate American psycho Newsom. Go to my YouTube channel and check it out. It might be up here right now. Just go check it out right there. Subscribe by tapping my face right there down below. Sign up for our free newsletter in the pinned comment, show notes, and description. And as always, may God bless you and may God bless America. I'll see you soon.